Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to describe what each symbol represents on the cards. We're going to talk about the DP, CP, and EP, which I'll explain what those mean. We're going to talk about the assembly, healing, and battlefield areas, and in this video we also will be talking about a certain status condition, but just letting you know status conditions will be in a different video, so if you're concerned about that, please go see the other video corresponding to status conditions. Alright, so let's start with going from top to bottom and left to right. So over here we have Celestial Deity Novus. This is the card's name, what the unit is called. On the right of that and on the bottom of that you have the nation icon and the nation that it belongs to. In this case it's Regnum Lumine. For Dragon Emperor Zolaris it's Gens Bello. For Mushroom Dawn it's Oromeum. And for Slime King it's Tenebrae Dolus. On the very left you have what rank the unit is. In this case all of these units are kings, in which case if they all die, or if any of these die, you lose the game. Obviously you're only allowed one king though, so then you have who the character artwork is created by. In this case, all of these character artworks are created by the lovely Ikashiks. Underneath that, you have their element, which consists of air, which is yellow, fire, red, earth, green, and water, blue. Next to that, you have their affinity, which is light white, neutral gray, and dark purple. The affinities actually represent what kind of ability they are more than likely to have. If they're a light affinity, they're more than likely going to be focusing on healing or supportive abilities and stuff like that. If they're a dark affinity, they're going to be focusing on ability damage, debuffs, stuff like that. And neutrals will be having unique abilities along with a mixed bag of both of those, but at the cost of probably more willpower usage and whatnot, which I'll explain what willpower is soon. So next to the affinity you have health, attack, defense, energy or movement points. In this case there is a negative number there, and that means that this is how many points it will take to move that unit. Then next to that you have willpower, which you can also refer to it as mana if you want, but the official term for this game is willpower. Underneath that, over here on the bottom right, you have the movement range. This yellow dot is where the unit is in accordance to the map around it. The blue squares are where the unit is allowed to move to. You're only allowed to move the unit once per turn, and I'll explain more into that in the next video when talking about how to play. On the left in the purple box you have abilities, passives, and flavor text. Now in this case all of these kings will all have a passive. However, certain units, like for example Mushroom Dawn, will be taking use of certain conditions in order to activate their abilities, but they are still considered passives because they don't require any willpower in order to activate. So as you noticed, I skipped over this red symbol, and that is because this red symbol goes into the next topic, which is CP and DP. CP stands for casualty points, and DP stands for desperation points. The more casualty points you obtain, the higher level your DP increases. Once you reach the DP level 6 or get 100 casualty points or higher, you will lose the game. Every time a unit dies and gets sent to the cemetery, you gain however many CP that unit gives you. So for example, this pawn will give you 1 CP. But these kings will give you 100. Because if a king dies, you lose the game automatically. Now each time you rank up, you do get certain bonuses. And I'll explain those shortly. This die right here, which I'll probably replace with something in the physical version of the game, this is how much energy you have remaining. Each time you move a unit, this goes down based on how many movement points you used to move the unit. Whenever you start your next turn, you gain energy back based on your DP level. So at DP level 1, or at the very start of the game, you only recover 1 energy every turn. The higher you go, though, the more energy you get back every turn. For example, at level 2, you get 2 energy per turn. Level 3, you get 5. At level 4, you get 8. At level 5, you get 12. You're only allowed to have a maximum of 20 energy total saved up. Now, in order to reach these levels, you need to have a certain amount of CP. In order to get to reach level 2, you need to have CP of 5. So you need to have units on your side of the field that have died that equal the total amount of casualty points as 5. So for example, in this case, 5 pawns, or 5 giant bats. To get to level 3, you need 25 casualty points. To get to level 4, you need 50. To get to level 5, you need 75. And at level 6, which is when you lose the game, you need 100. This area down here is known as the assembly area. These whole first 2 rows are the assembly area. You're allowed to call forth or summon, if that's what you're used to in terms. You're allowed to call forth any unit from your hand in this area. In this bottom area is also considered a healing area. If a unit is injured, you are able to send it back, to retreat it back to this area, and you can put it to sleep to heal it. Now, as I said, sleep is considered a status condition, and we'll be talking about that in a later video. In order to move the unit again, you need to get it out of sleep, which we will explain there. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time when we talk about how to play and setting up the board. Thank you, and bye-bye.